The day alien dwarfs landed on Earth, the night sky over Green Valley was calm and clear, filled with thousands of stars. The air was cool, and the small farming town slept quietly. Then the lights appeared. At first, they looked like shooting stars, 3 glowing dots racing across the darkness. But instead of fading, they grew brighter and larger, moving in perfect formation. The few people still awake stopped what they were doing and stared. Within minutes, the lights slowed, hovering silently above the fields outside the town. A deep humming sound filled the air, vibrating through the ground and into people's chests. 3 small, round spacecraft descended gently, landing in a wide triangle. Their metal surfaces shone like polished silver, reflecting the moonlight. Strange symbols glowed faintly along their sides, shifting and changing like living writing. The town's alarm bells rang, and people began to gather at the edge of the fields. Some came with phones to record, others with rifles in hand. No one knew if this was a rescue, a visit, or an attack. A hiss of escaping air came from the first ship. A circular door opened, lowering into a ramp. Out stepped something no one expected. They were short, no taller than a human child, but their bodies were solid and strong. Wide shoulders, thick arms, and legs built for power. Their skin was pale silver, smooth, but with faint patterns that shifted. When they moved, their heads were slightly larger than human proportion, and their eyes were huge, round, and glowing like polished gemstones. They were dressed in tight, flexible armor that seemed to grow from their skin. On their backs were strange devices humming with a soft blue light. In their hands, they carried tools or maybe weapons, no one could tell. From the other 2 ships, more of them stepped out, until there were about a dozen. They moved in perfect coordination, their boots making no sound on the grass. The people watching stayed frozen, caught between fear and curiosity. A young boy whispered, "They're so small." His father, standing beside him, replied quietly, "Size doesn't mean safe." One of the aliens stepped forward. He was slightly taller than the others and wore armor marked with gold lines. Clearly their leader. He looked at the humans for a long moment, then raised a small device. A mechanical voice spoke from it, broken but clear enough. "We come to test your strength." Gasps and murmurs spread through the crowd. A local police officer shouted, "What do you mean by test?" But the alien leader gave no answer. Instead, he tapped the device again, and strange holographic images appeared in the air, pictures of humans fighting, running, and working together. Then images of other alien species, locked in combat. The meaning was clear. The leader lowered the device and spoke again. "Prove worthy." A low vibration came from the ships, and the grass in the middle of their triangle began to glow. The ground shifted, reshaping itself into a circular platform surrounded by faint blue light. It was some kind of arena. The crowd stepped back uneasy. The aliens moved to stand around the edges, watching with their large glowing eyes. The leader pointed toward the arena, then toward the humans. No one moved. The silence stretched, heavy and tense. Finally, a young soldier from the nearby army base stepped forward. His name was Captain Reed, and his voice was steady. "If it's a fight you want, you'll get one." The alien leader tilted his head, as if amused, then he smiled, a small, sharp smile that somehow made him look more dangerous. The arena floor pulsed with light, and the first challenge was about to begin. Human versus alien. Dwarfs. The challenge begins. The arena in the middle of the field glowed brighter, sending a strange blue light across the grass. The air hummed with a low, steady vibration. The alien dwarfs stood in a perfect circle around it, their glowing eyes fixed on Captain Reed. Reed stepped onto the platform, feeling it shift slightly. Under his boots, it wasn't solid like concrete, it was alive, the surface changing and pulsing as if reacting to his presence. The alien leader, Kor, made a small gesture, and one of his warriors stepped forward. This one was shorter but broader, with heavy armor and a weapon shaped like a curved staff. The weapon hummed softly, glowing at both ends. The crowd of humans watched from the edge of the field, tense and silent. No one knew the rules. No one knew if Reed would walk away. The hum of the arena deepened, and in an instant, the alien dwarf charged. His movements were fast, far faster than Reed expected from someone so short and heavy. The staff swung toward Reed's side. Reed twisted away, the strike passing inches from his ribs. He could feel the heat coming off the weapon. One touch and it might knock him out. The alien spun the staff with practiced skill, stepping forward again. Reed kept moving, watching carefully. Every step, every swing, every shift of the dwarf's feet told him something. The alien wasn't just attacking, He was testing Reed's reflexes. Reed feinted to the left, drawing the alien in, then, using his longer reach, he grabbed the staff with both hands and pulled hard. The alien didn't let go. Instead, he rolled forward, using his small size to slip under Reed's guard and jab the staff into his side. A flash of heat and pain shot through Reed's body. His muscles seized for half a second, but he forced himself to stay standing. The alien tilted his head, clearly surprised that the human hadn't fallen. Reed grinned. "You'll have to hit harder than that." The fight continued. Faster now. The alien darted in and out, striking from different angles. Reed began to adapt, using his height and longer arms to keep the dwarf at bay. He blocked one strike, sidestepped another, and landed a quick punch to the alien's shoulder. The crowd reacted with a mix of cheers and gasps. The alien stumbled but didn't fall. Instead, he gave a sharp nod, a silent acknowledgement of Reed's skill. From the side of the arena, Kor watched closely. His expression was unreadable, but his eyes glowed brighter. Reed had lasted longer than any other species they had tested in their first round. After several more exchanges, the alien warrior stepped back, tapping his staff against the ground. The weapon's glow faded, signaling the end of the match. Kor stepped forward into the arena. His armor gleamed under the blue light. "You learn quickly," he said in his broken but clear English. Reed straightened, breathing heavily. "That's what humans do." Kor's mouth curved into a thin smile. He made a gesture to his warriors, and the arena shifted again. The surface reshaped into uneven terrain, rocks, pits, and raised platforms appearing out of nowhere. "This second trial," Kor said, "not only strength, but mind." 2 alien dwarfs entered this time, each carrying a different weapon, one with twin short blades, the other with a heavy hammer-like device. Reed's eyes narrowed. He was outnumbered now, but he could feel the determination burning inside him. From the human crowd, a soldier called out, "You got this, Captain." Reed smirked and took his stance. The second trial had begun, and the real challenge was only getting started. Humanity earns the respect of alien dwarfs. The arena's glowing surface pulsed under Reed's boots, shifting constantly. One moment a raised platform lifted him into the air. The next a deep pit opened at his side, forcing him to jump. The alien dwarfs moved across the terrain with surprising ease, their short legs pushing them forward in quick bursts of speed. The first dwarf with the twin blades came at Reed fast. Slashing in a cross pattern, Reed blocked the first strike with his forearm, guard, twisted, and ducked under the second. Before he could counter, the hammer-wielding dwarf swung down with a thunderous strike. The impact shook the platform, sending Reed stumbling, but Reed recovered quickly. Rolling across the ground and springing back to his feet, he grabbed a loose shard of the arena's surface, a strange glowing piece of material, and hurled it at the hammer dwarf. It struck his chest, throwing him off balance. The crowd of humans cheered. The alien leader Kor's expression didn't change, but his eyes followed every move. The blade dwarf lunged again, but Reed stepped aside and grabbed his arm, using the dwarf's momentum to throw him into a raised stone pillar. The dwarf hit hard but rolled away, clearly more impressed than angry. Now it was 2 against 1 again. The dwarfs flanked Reed, forcing him to turn back and forth to defend. His arms ached, and every breath felt heavier, but he didn't stop. Each attack taught him more, how they timed their strikes, how they moved together, how they tried to wear him down. Finally, Reed saw his chance, as the blade dwarf attacked from the front. The hammer dwarf raised his weapon for a heavy swing. From behind, at the last moment, Reed ducked and stepped sideways, letting the hammer dwarf's swing hit his own teammate instead. The 2 dwarfs collided, stumbling together. Reed moved in fast, kicking the hammer from one's hands and sweeping the legs out from under the other. Both hit the ground, weapons gone. Silence filled the arena. Reed stood in the center, breathing hard but still on his feet. He looked at Kor, who slowly stepped forward. The leader's sharp smile returned. "You fight with more than strength," Kor said. "You fight with mind and heart." Reed didn't answer. He just stood tall, showing no fear. Kor turned to his warriors and spoke in his own language. The alien dwarves tapped their chests in unison, a gesture of respect. Then Kor faced the humans again. "You pass," he said simply. "Humans are worthy." The crowd of humans erupted in cheers. People waved and shouted Reed's name. Reed asked, "Worthy for what?" Kor's glowing eyes fixed on him. "For war. Greater than this," he said. "Our people search for allies strong enough to stand against the coming darkness." He stepped closer, lowering his voice, "It comes from beyond the stars. And even we fear it." Reed's jaw tightened. "Then you've found the wrong planet to pick a fight with." Kor's smile widened slightly. "Perhaps we found the right one." With that, the alien dwarves returned to their ships. The arena faded away, leaving only flattened grass where it had been, as the ships lifted into the night sky, their lights disappearing into the darkness. Kor's voice echoed from above, "When the war begins, we return." Reed stood watching until the last light vanished. His body ached, his mind raced, but one thought stayed clear. This was only the beginning.